Hello everybody and welcome back to Kusogrand8, the bad video game tournament. Hopefully y'all were able to get a little water, get hydrated, because there's no water in space. Well, there might be a little water, like, there's no, it's not distributed, whatever. Crappy, just take us to the game. Just whatever, I don't even know. Oh, well, everybody, we have 4 whole matches today. We had 4 yesterday. We've got 4 today. This is the second match of the day. 4 players are going to be trying to make progress through a game. Of course, they have not played the game. They haven't seen the game or have seen very little about it. So let's go ahead and find out what is being given. Say hello to GM for game number 2. Our dear friend, Shrambles. Shrambles, I want to talk to the Kirby. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Shrambles, it's good to have you. And thank you again last week for putting on the mystery show along with Blasphemous Roar. That was a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. We have so many other more fun mystery shows planned that we are gathering people who want to participate. So it's going to be really exciting next month when we have our next show.
Yeah. I do want people to know that Roar and Shrambles and the whole mystery show crew have been putting in a lot of work in order to prepare that. We are trying to do it the first Saturday of every month. Of course, that doesn't necessarily happen. Just welcome to everybody has their own lives, and for a lot of people, you know, it's more important to have fun than to necessarily press forward with the schedule. But we're trying to stay on schedule as much as possible, and like both of the shows that we've done here on the channel, I've really loved. I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, so gonna keep that combo streak going, hopefully, next month.
Yeah, we're aiming for it. Well, let's forget about the future. Let's talk about the present, because you had a present to give out to the players.
Yes. You know, a lot of video games come out on consoles that sometimes get gifted a handheld version that is wildly different from the actual console version.
Say it ain't so. Are you giving out RoboCop?
I'm not giving out RoboCop, but I am giving a game out from our friends at Titus.
Oh no.
We have Kao the Kangaroo for Game Boy Advance today.
Well, the players will be able to hop to it in just a second. They will have 1 hour to try to make as much progress as they can through. Is it pronounced KO? I guess he's boxing.
It's definitely KO. When I played because at one point they released KO2 for free on Steam, and then I raced a few friends in that one, and I just kept calling him Cow the entire time because I thought it was funny.
Okay, well, I would have just said Cow anyway, because who spells KO this way? It's stupid. Just put dots around it. Put K period O period.
Yeah, but it's definitely KO, since it's going off of the joke that he's a boxer.
Yeah, I get it. It's not funny, but I get it.
I mean, a lot of things like that aren't supposed to be funny, or if they are, it's just like, oh, I understand what it's doing.
Haha, good joke. Yeah. Well, luckily, you know, I don't have to play it. The players will instead. Now, you say that this was a game that was on consoles before. What consoles?
So I believe it was on Dreamcast and PC.
Okay.
And then they made a KO2 that was released for PlayStation 2 and then probably GameCube. It doesn't really matter. That one's too mediocre to be on Kuso.
Oh, good. We don't want mediocre here. Come on, we want pain. We're here to dish out the pain and make sure everybody regrets actually signing up for the tournament. And those who don't get eliminated, they just get more pain. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. Yeah, but I like the cycle. Come on, that's what Kusogrand8 is all about.
That's why we're here. That's why we keep coming back. It's so to compare it, there's a soda at Disney World called Beverly that tastes terrible.
Beverly?
It's called Beverly. It's in their soda pavilion.
Why?
And, like, it's the worst thing ever. But I constantly want to have it again because it's so weird in its taste.
Okay, Disney, why would you name a soda Beverly? That's I'm more concerned about that than literally anything that's going to happen on the stream today, okay? Are you okay, Disney? Did somebody hurt you?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you gotta try it, and then you'll understand. But it's
so like
not...
diet caffeine-free Mountain Dew. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, which, by the way, that's miserable. Never have it. Utah is weird. And diet caffeine-free Mountain Dew is literally the worst thing. One of the worst drinks I've ever had in my life, okay? I knew somebody who drank a lot of that and ended up their stomach absolutely rebelled. It was a mistake.
Yeah, but we have one of the Beverlys of video games here today.
Aw, hello, Beverly.
And you can see this is a classic. You know, it took a 3D game, made it 2D, and it tried. This game has a lot of like moments where it could be good, and they have things that they try to fix the problems with this game, but it still doesn't make it good enough.
Yeah, I can believe that. Well, let me go ahead and switch on over. Monster Rancher music, it's good, but KO's got to be better, right? Let's see what this music is. Okay.
I mean, it's fine.
Good's not quite correct. Don't worry, I'm fixing stuff. Okay, Kao the Kangaroo for GBA. Don't freak out, everybody. Sometimes I actually have to work in order to get things correct. Ow.
Yeah, but I think this game falls under the same, like, you know, they made the console version, and so they were just told, make a handheld version, and given, like, half the amount of time to try to make this game.
Ah, okay. No motivation. Perfect.
So a lot of the stage design and just what happens in this game might reflect that.
Well, right now I am checking with the players to see if they are ready. If so, take the pics off your screens. Because I love the pics. We've got Cabbage Hat with a cabbage. We've got Impa Danila, aka Sabusa, over on the top left. We've got Persagix that had a dog, Venbright with text. Okay. And I'm just waiting for two of the other players to be ready. I already don't like the music, and I'm just listening to the demo here.
I mean, it doesn't get better. It stays at this kind of mediocre tones the entire time.
Well,
but yeah, go ahead, bro.
I'm just yelling at the players. Okay, we're trying to get this started, and you're not responding in Discord. Players?
They've been lulled by the sultry sounds of Kao the Kangaroo for GBA.
Okay, Cabbage Hat confirming they are ready, and so has our fourth player. Well, everybody, we need you to get your best boxing emotes to spam for chat. What else would be appropriate, Shambles?
Dinosaurs, plants, I guess snow at some point, dinosaurs. I mean, just any kind of animal.
Yeah,
that'll be fine.
Or anything that looks like pow. Spam, everybody. We're doing the countdown, and as soon as I see movement, I will start our timer. Oh, those are some good dinosaurs. I love... Oh,
I think Persagix accidentally, and resetting, accidentally selected easy mode. They are playing on normal mode. And the only difference between the modes is that I found is how much damage enemies take. It takes 3 hits to kill enemies on normal mode.
Okay, and I am going to switch audio from one of our players to one of our other players because, yeah, this is not going to work.
Oh, what is happening with Impa Denala? That is
certainly a frame rate that I didn't expect. Let's see how Cabbage Hat is doing here.
I specifically gave out a game that had more than 3 frames this time. That is on Impa to make the low frame rate.
Or it might be on Comcast, you know?
Yeah. But for controls, the most interesting thing is up to run.
Not sure I like that.
Yeah, so you have to hold up on the D-pad in order to run. And you also have to hold right or left in order to move.
Okay. I mean... Oh, what game am I thinking of? There was a game that I played recently where I had to sort of hold down and... Oh, it was Super Adventure Island. In order to do high jumps, you have to sort of actually hold at a diagonal rather than just left or right. And
looking at Cabbage Hat is realizing that the punch of this game is awful. It is literally like 2 pixels in front of you, which is how much you have for your punch. Sorry to interrupt you, bro. I just needed to point that out.
It's all good. Yeah. Ooh. Seriously, point out everything here because I don't know what is happening.
If you can look at Prosogex is just constantly being bounced off of running into the enemy. So you get like maybe a few frames of invulnerability, but if you just keep holding right, you'll just constantly bounce back off of enemies.
Okay.
And that hit problem is going to be a big problem in the second stage. Cabbage Hat taking another death. Honestly, I told them the run direction. They don't want to be running at all. Running is a problem in this game because you sometimes run too fast for the screen to actually catch up with you, especially if you're going up or down hills. Okay. And if you run into an enemy, you'll just bounce, and there are plenty of areas where if you just fall, you'll fall into instant death.
Yeah, this seems like a game that, like, slow and steady is going to be the way to do it. There's not a timer on the screen, so that's very important to pay attention to. Yeah, the thing is, with a lot of these games that where you can go fast and you want to go fast, they punish you for going fast, and it's just... it's very frustrating when that happens, I gotta be honest.
And Cabbage Hat taking the first full game over. There is only passwords in this game. I have told the players to memorize your passwords at least 3 times in the information I gave them. So hopefully that doesn't become a problem, but...
I mean, Password Boss is definitely something that happens in Kusogrand8 from time to time, and Titus has had video games before that had flawed password systems. I hope that's not the case here, but if so, welcome to Kusogrand8, everybody. Occasionally the games are bad.
I just watched Prosogex hit the platform, and then somehow the geometry just pushed him off into the death water.
Beautiful. Absolutely what I want. Oh my gosh.
There was a bit of fear of me with giving out normal mode, because there is a possibility that there could be a completion if they start getting the hang of this controls. But just the platforming, especially at level 2, is just brutal.
Yeah.
They put all of these platforms that you need to jump specifically on, and if you don't hit it right, you'll fall through. Luckily, Prosogex landed on one of these rotating platforms as a safety, but they do disappear like 1/3 into this area.
I'm looking at a picture of Kao the Kangaroo that I believe was a promotional picture for the Windows version, and I honestly like this version of Cal better because this is like what you see in your nightmare. Like, okay, this is a sleep paralysis demon right here. Look at this. He is hideous.
It really matches, like, if you look at the life icon, like, the kangaroo has the same face. Like, they really matched it, and they have the same kind of, like, images if they run into extra lives.
This is horrifying. I hate it. Oh. Okay, Cal, go back. Whatever. Whatever. We're gonna banish you after I get back to having you fully scaled out because you are scary. Yeah, GBA Cal, better. As it turns out, limitations are sometimes a good thing when it comes to art.
Cabin Chat, why did you run? That was a mistake.
We're only 5 minutes into it. They're allowed to make mistakes for at least 10 minutes.
Oh, it's
the fact that you have to enter the password every single time and it doesn't automatically save it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that other companies in Europe had this figured out, okay? Like, Infogrames, sure, your games had many problems, but you had the password system figured out so that players didn't have to go and put it in every single time. Impa taking down a crab and beating the level. Did you have to kill that crab in order to beat the level?
Nope. There will be boss levels where you do need to beat the boss in order to move on, but all of these platforming levels, all you need to do is just get to the end.
Oh my gosh.
Taking the lead, Impa's probably going to get a little bit further now that they're past what I considered like the first wall of this game, which is the second level.
The first wall is the second level. That is absolutely horrifying.
The second wall will come up when we get to the first boss. And I won't spoil why it's a wall until we get there.
Well, I will say that the head programmer for this game worked on other things like Prehistoric Man for Super Nintendo, Blues Brothers for Game Boy. I didn't even know there was a Game Boy version of that one. Okay, Quest for Camelot, Titus the Fox for Game Boy, which is the better version of Titus, and also Xena Warrior Princess for Game Boy Color. One of my personal favorite Game Boy Color games, and honestly, what I would say is the best actual Titus game that has been developed, in my opinion.
It doesn't take much to be the king or queen of Poop Mountain.
The king or queen of Poop Mountain, oh my gosh. I mean, I guess that's true.
I want to see if Impa has the glitch that happened when I played this level. Like, I don't know how to describe what happens, but if you jump at a certain angle and you're too high on the screen, you just float all the way from the top up from the bottom to the middle, and you just fall the way back down. So it screen wraps you if you're too far up.
Gotcha. Oh no! The lava! Okay. That poor kangaroo is already having a very, very difficult day. However, we luckily have it a bit easier as hosts here because our referees are doing a great job of keeping track of how the players are doing. The referees for this match, of course, being Linkura, Jerry Ayres, Sober Dwarf, and Bees Louise, with Buster Curry over in the wings, making sure that everything runs smooth. Thank you so much to our ref team here. Yeah, Impa is definitely in the lead. The other three on the same level, aka level 2. Yeah, this is being a challenge.
And some of our players are utilizing the things that this game tries to do to make it more palatable. You can set down checkpoints. There are no checkpoints in the levels themselves. You have to collect a checkpoint flag and set it yourself in order to make a checkpoint.
Of course you do. There is so much just like bell. Ding, 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 ding. Who made the music for this? I've got some complaints, okay? It's not the worst music I've heard, but I need to complain to somebody. Oh, nobody got credited for doing the music. Okay. I mean, that's fair.
I mean, it is a Titus game. I don't know how many people want to be associated with their Titus work.
Well, at least if they're doing the audio. Cabbage Hat, though, is on to the mythical caves. So scary.
And taking a moment to just breathe. Or maybe just writing down the password that they just got, because now they never have to go back to level 2.
Yeah, one thing that players are allowed to do if they so desire is take a screenshot. The biggest thing, like, I don't really care the method of tracking a password. As long as you get the password somewhere, then that is great. The biggest risk, though, is that they could unintentionally erase an earlier password and find that a password that they get is either flawed or like doesn't work correctly, or I don't know. There are lots of problems there. I would keep a running list of the various passwords that I get.
Cabbage Hat making their way onto the same level that Impa is on. So catching up. Persagic is also through level 2. Just Venbright now struggling with this second level.
This is so good.
And things about the passwords. So the passwords don't actually save lives. So you just get kind of a reset 3 lives every time you use a password. So it's not like evil that some passwords have that some people in chat are talking about, where like it saves your like everything, which means you can essentially get a password that locks you out of actually winning the game.
Yeah, but if you keep, like, even in cases like that, yeah, I don't like when games have passwords with lives and health and resources saved in them. But even then, if you keep a list of passwords, you can backtrack to like 1 or 2 levels before just to have a better attempt. It's worth saving them until, at the very least, you know that you don't need older passwords.
Oh, yeah. I saw Cabbage Hat. As soon as they respawned from their checkpoint, they just immediately walked off the edge.
That may have been on password just to get a game over faster.
Oh, possibly.
I probably wouldn't, because I don't think there are really that many checkpoints in levels, at least as far as I can tell so far. Are there checkpoints throughout?
No. You have to set the checkpoints yourself, and you have to collect them in order to set them. So it could be possible that you don't find any checkpoints. But Impa and Nala making their way to the first boss. And you're going to see why bosses in this game are terrible.
What do the checkpoints look like?
So you'd have to collect flags that are on the map.
Oh, okay, like Cabbage Hat got just there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put the flag down.
Yes. And you press select in order to put the flag down.
We've got a dragon. This is the ugliest freaking dragon I have seen this week. Today is Sunday.
It's a dinosaur. It's probably because it's a dinosaur, not a dragon.
Well, it's a stupid-looking dinosaur.
But both Cabbage Hat and Impa are here on this dragon. And
dinosaur.
I don't think any of... Dang it. Bro, you got me. That was your trick all along.
Heck yeah. Finally, somebody understands.
So I don't think I've seen any of the players do the move. But if you jump in the air and hold R, you will ground pound. And that is really the only consistent way to kill this boss. Is to just constantly bonk off its head. But as you're noticing with how much damage they're doing by their punches and kicks, this health bar goes down so slowly.
Oh my gosh. Just die.
Oh, and their Cabbage Hat actually doing the bounce. It is really the only way to consistently get damage on this guy. But the problem with doing that is as soon as it starts moving right to these platforms, you get extra height, and you can't consistently do it.
Yeah, now you did give them information about the B plus down is the tail attack, R in the air is ground pound, L plus the D-pad is their ability to look around, up and then followed by left or right gives running, which we have seen the players do. Select is to place the checkpoints. Start is pause. That's the biggest thing here. I don't know what the story of this is. You're a kangaroo. You're fighting a dragon
so
dinosaur thingy.
The plot of the game is that a hunter has kidnapped your family, and you're just running through 4 different worlds to try to save them from the hunter.
Honestly, just seeing how scary this world is, I think I might just say, it's too bad. If they want to live, they can go save themselves. Like, depending on the family, of course. If it was like Justin, sure, I'd go and punch a dragon in the face or sit on it, sure. Or a dinosaur. It's got spikes on its head, but yeah, I'll go ahead and ground pound them. If it were anybody else, though, they probably need to save themselves.
Yeah, another mean thing about this stage, the first time you spawn into this level, there is health pickups on that little platform up there. If you collect any of them and you die, they do not respawn. So it's pretty much you need to kill the boss on your first attempt in order to actively utilize those health pickups.
No, the mosquito on Venbright! I love it. We've got 3 out of 4 players on the first boss. You can see the damage that has been done at the very top. And honestly, we're gonna be here for a while.
No, yeah, we're definitely gonna be at this boss in a while. And I checked the other difficulties. The health of the boss does not change on any difficulty.
Even easy?
Easy is the same slog of a process to kill this boss.
So what's the difference between normal and easy?
Enemies only take 1 hit on easy mode.
Ow!
On normal mode, they take 3 hits.
Okay, considering this is a quote-unquote boxing kangaroo game, like, boxing, you usually have to do more than 1 hit to knock an opponent out. I sort of understand having enemies take more hits, but at the same time, there are better ways to increase difficulty. Come on. I also really don't like the belly button. Do kangaroos have belly buttons?
They're probably underneath the pouch.
Yeah, but what about, do male kangaroos have pouches?
That is a great question. I do not have an answer for you, but I bet chat will.
I know they're messed up in other ways that we can't talk about on stream, but I don't know about pouches.
I'm surprised no one in the race chat has said anything about this so far. Oddly quiet from everybody in chat.
They're usually, when players feel like they're able to make progress, or like the game isn't absolutely impossible, like they can actually put work into it in order to make progress, players tend to be quiet. So I'd say that right now they're not too frustrated with the game. Sure, it's dumb, but they're making some sort of progress, or at least they feel like they are.
I mean, yeah, the thing about this dinosaur is that it really doesn't have that many attacks. It's just consistently hitting it is such a pain.
Somebody in chat said that all mammals have belly buttons. I have a friend who doesn't have a belly button. False. There you go.
Are you sure your friend's a mammal?
Yeah, they were just very premature. They were preemie. Yeah. And they don't have a belly button.
Is that how that works?
For them, they were very premature.
Okay.
Yeah, C-section, extremely premature baby. Probably not expected to live. They don't have a belly button.
So Impa has made the choice to go back to one of the earlier levels, I think to try to collect boxing gloves. Or is trying to collect lives? So you need to collect 120 coins in order to get an extra life.
Okay. Now let's see. I'm looking to see if I can find a kangaroo belly button. This is very important, and I might regret this search later. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna regret that search. Okay, we're done.
Already deleting it. Oh, and I think it happened for Impa, the thing I talked about where you jumped too high and you just wrap across the screen.
Now, with that said, is Impa in the lead? Did Impa beat the boss?
Impa did not beat the boss. Impa went back to some previous levels, I think, to collect power-ups.
Really? Are there power-ups in this?
So there are boxing gloves you can collect.
Okay.
And they don't really do that much more damage.
Yeah, Impa just got one. But, like, a little bit of damage on a very frustrating boss may be enough to tip the scales in your favor. But yeah, I'm not, like, as long as Impa can get back out with the boxing glove still in the inventory, how do you, quote-unquote, use the boxing glove?
So you need to hold up and B, which is punch. And you only get one.
I tried to do it, and it missed the boss. Oh, no!
It's very much not worth it. They do the same amount of damage that everything else does.
Oh, no. So this boss just sucks.
And you want to know the worst part?
Sure.
This is, I think, the second easiest boss in the game.
Oh, there's one easier than this? Oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
There's one easier than this, and then if it keeps up, like, if they make it to the third boss is by far one of the worst bosses I've ever encountered in any video game.
They don't even have sound effects for dealing damage to the boss here. Like, what the crap?
But Cabbage Hat has gotten a pretty good pattern down.
Yeah, there's
the
not
other
much health left, though, and that's a concern.
Oh, I should not have said anything, but I think
it doesn't.
Cabbage Hat will get it done soon.
I think
they have a consistent strat.
Yeah, I don't believe in jinxes, by the way, unless you're talking to somebody who can directly affect what is happening. In that case, jinxes are real. If, like, a player heard me say, "Oh my gosh, they're so close, they're gonna get it," then that could potentially jinx them because they start second-guessing themselves. Otherwise, jinxes aren't real, Shrambles. You're allowed to say whatever you want as a commentator.
I also don't think they're real, but sometimes they just feel right.
By the way, you can punch the rocks that the dinosaur drops.
Yes, so you can punch those things, and sometimes they will drop HP. But it's so inconsistent that it's not worth trying.
Yeah, the butt bounce is definitely just get him in a loop and try not to fall out of the loop, because if you do, you're probably going to get hurt.
Yeah, it's just, the bosses in this game are so tedious.
And ugly. Just like everything else in this game. I mean, at least, here's the deal. It's stylized. I am fine with stylization. Go ahead and make something that looks a little dorky. I want to make fun of it because it is hideous. But at the same time, you know, at least it's not generic dinosaur number 1. No, it's ugly butt dinosaur. And that means that you did your job as an artist, okay? I'm gonna remember this in my nightmares.
Cabbage Hat. I think increase their best. I don't think anybody else has really gotten the rhythm to this game quite yet.
Yeah, this is a very special game.
I'm not quite sure what Impa is trying here. Are they just trying to collect a bunch of lives, and then they're gonna find out, unfortunately, that collecting all of these lives does not save with their password.
Yeah. Or what's at the bottom right of the screen, it either looks like a keyhole or a pawn. What is that?
So there is a keyhole, and then each of these 4 levels has a key in it.
Okay.
And you need to use that key on a keyhole that's hidden in one of the levels as well.
Okay,
when you use that key, you get put to a bonus level, which just has a bunch of coins.
No! Why?
I told them in the entry post that I gave them that you do not need to collect keys. I didn't say you shouldn't. I just said you don't have to.
Well,
I think Impa was just
used both of the gloves while standing at the bottom and not in range of the boss's head. That is it for the projectiles collected in the previous levels. Look at Cabbage Hat, though. This fight is going well. The boss is down to about maybe a fourth or a fifth of its life.
Yeah,
and Cabbage Hat has a reasonable amount of health left.
And has some of the bonus health at top to collect.
Oh, yeah.
So this is looking good for Cabbage Hat.
This is hopeful. This boss is still stupid.
Oh, it's incredibly bad. It's just, I hate to say it, but it's just kind of boring design.
No. Like, there's good game design, there's bad game design. Honestly, you can still enjoy bad design in some way. There are going to be people who, like, actually are sort of fine with the repetitive nature here. I think most people, though, would agree you don't want a boss that takes about 150 hits to be your first boss.
But you do need to find the exit area, which is right at top. So that's the second wall of the game that I've described. The third wall is the level immediately afterwards.
No! Oh no! Snowboarding! Why?
So, the snowboarding level. You need to have pretty much precise jumps. And if you miss, if you fall far enough, you will die.
Oh no. I do love that I see a review on Game FAQs. They gave it a 3 out of 10. They said mildly entertaining if you have nothing else to do. Oh, just the burns like that. I love it. They say nothing special, linear gameplay and mediocre music. Have you seen the snowboarding level? You think this is linear? Okay, sort of linear, yeah, but it all makes for a game you would play, but not if there is something else you could be doing at the moment. Okay, they liked the graphics. They thought the gameplay was 3 out of 10. There's no story section in the review. They're like, forget the story. It doesn't matter. Okay.
I will be honest. I spent probably just as much time on this snowboard level as I did fighting the boss.
Oh no, how long did you spend fighting the boss?
Like 10, 15 minutes maybe?
Okay. I mean, honestly, I have a lot of complaints about the snowboarding level. First off, the snow...
Oh, yeah.
The giant snow in the foreground partially blocking your view. Like, You don't need that, especially if they're literally inside a cave. If you're snowboarding inside a cave, why do you have this? It's stupid. At least I think it's inside. Is it inside a cave? Where are we?
I think we're outside. It's very unclear exactly where we are because we were just in like a very I wouldn't say this is a mountainous region, even though there are mountains in the background on this dinosaur fight, but none of them are snow-capped.
Woo!
Yes. Oh, Kao's scream is just beautiful.
I also love how much of a bit rate eater this level is. It is just devouring the quality, and I'm fine with that. I think it's pretty funny.
So fun when two of our other players get to this snowboarding level at the same time. So we can just have an entire screen's worth of snow.
Yeah. By the way, our referees are doing a pretty good job of keeping track of the level that the players have made it to, as well as if they're on a boss, how much damage they've done to the boss so far. And Impa is doing a relatively good job. Just gotta keep the dinosaur from doing his stompy move.
Yeah, and if you stay in the middle of the dinosaur while it's doing it, you can't get hit by it.
Oh, really?
It doesn't drop any of those rocks in the middle of its sprite. So
wait. The safest spot to stand is literally where the dinosaur is stomping. Oh, nope, never mind. It stomped on Impa. Yeah, slightly to the left of where it's stomping.
It will do an attack first, and then all the things will fall. So you just need to be like to the left or right of it, and then move to the center.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
But Impa has a good strat, and I think that Impa will get this clear soon. I haven't been really paying attention to Venbright or Persogx, unfortunately. Also, because I've just been mesmerized by the snowboarding, because it's just fun to watch.
That's okay. Persogx has gotten the enemy's health down to about half left. Impa has gotten it down to possibly 20% left. I'm not certain about Venbright here. Venbright has been struggling with this boss, which is kind of understandable. Now, for those who are watching, we have had a few of these players in Kusogrand8 before. Venbright and Impa Danila, aka Sabusa, has been around. I'm not sure about Persogx or the Cabbage Hat, though I know I've seen cabbages everywhere.
I recognize all of these names, so I want to say they've all been in at least the community for a while.
Yeah, at least the community, they've been around for quite a while. Let me open up the good old historical Kusogrand8 thingy. Welcome to my life. Yeah. Cabbage Hat wasn't actually in the GM bracket for Kusogrand8 7. Duh. My gosh. Okay, yeah, Cabbage Hat did play indeed during last Kusogrand8. I don't believe Persogx has. Sabusa, aka Impa Danila, did, and Venbright did as well. So I would say that Persogx has the biggest disadvantage just due to not having played in Kusogrand8 before. But again, we've seen newcomers just blow other players away in the past. Yeah.
Anybody who's new is, as we like to describe it in Mystery Tournament, is a wild card. We never know how well someone who's new is going to do. And we have seen upsets in Mystery Tournament before by someone who has just joined the tournament.
I love when that happens. Like, it always gets me super excited. And usually the people who join for the first time and do well have no expectations of doing well as well. They're like, I'm just as surprised as you are that I won. You know,
yeah, and that's the case with Kusogrand8 as well. Like, Cabbage Hat has learned this strategy of just trying to, like, oh, maybe they've snuck in some like tactical falls.
Okay, I saw an arrow to the right.
I think this is the last section. If they can land all of these, they're going to be clear of.
Oh, I was
maybe...
terrified for a second.
They're clear. They're clear of the snowboarding section.
Cabachat is through hell. Snow hell. You know, some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice.
So
yeah,
there isn't going to be another wall for quite a while. So Cabachat's going to probably have, not that say, these levels are easy, but they're not as cruel as some of these previous levels are. But Cabachat, you gotta jump over it. You gotta punch him.
No.
Punch the guy.
No punch, just jump. You're a kangaroo. Kangaroos kick more than punch. Come on.
But yeah, there's not as many just evil enemy placements that will just knock you into a death pit.
Yeah, then Bright, by the way, is saying, you guys always find brand new ways to completely baffle me, Kuso team. And yeah, let me say huge shout outs to all of the GMs that we have. Occasionally I get recommendations from random people as well, and I go check them out, and I'm like, ooh, interesting. And sometimes we use them, sometimes we don't. But, honestly, there's so many games out there that are bad, but that are still very, very interesting. And I'd say this game is definitely in the bad, but I kind of want to play this.
There's something intriguing about this game that I think there's so many elements that make it possible that this could be a good game.
Yeah, you can tell that the artists put a lot of work into making this game look good. This is maybe Titus's best looking game.
Yeah, I think all of the sprite work is great. I think all of the pretty much animations of the enemies are really clear. You understand what they're doing. There's just level design seems to be lacking.
But even then, looking at Cabachat's screen, this kind of had a splitting path between going top route and bottom route. So, they definitely had ideas for how to make a level that moves left to right, but still isn't completely linear, So, there are some big flaws on some levels, but some levels I'd say are actually designed very well.
Yeah, and it just makes an interesting case. And then I think Cabachat realizing for the first time that you actually can move your icon on the stage select because they didn't put it exactly on the level for the first time.
Beautiful. That walrus was huge. Holy crap. The fattest walrus I've ever seen. How? I do enjoy that Cabachat is just not fighting. That's beautiful. Meanwhile, the other three players are exactly where you would expect them to be. Boss number 1, aka the boss that you've said basically every boss in this game is a nightmare. I think the boss that Cabachat is about to get to for the second world is easier. But if you see it and watch, you'll probably think, Shrambles, you're crazy. This is the same exact fight as the first one, but just a different character. And you would be right. But it's still easier? Yes. Because you don't have a platform that causes your ground pound to get shot up. So you're much easier. That has been really annoying for the players, I can tell. Yeah, so you're actually able to infinitely bounce off of the boss. Ben Bright actually has done a decent amount of damage and has a lot of health left. Yeah, so there's a possibility here. Ben Bright's got something going. Impa doing a pretty good job as well. I'm a little bit concerned about their health. You know, that's always a bit of a tricky situation, not having a bunch of health when you're this far into a boss. There are health collectibles up at the top of the screen. I know Vembright already got his, but I don't know if Impa got theirs.
Yeah, I think what Impa keeps getting hit by is every time the dinosaur turns around, it does have a hitbox. And with how close you have to be to actually use the punches, is constantly getting hit by it. So there is another way to attack. You can do a tail swipe, but it's, again, like up to run, it's down in B to actually do it.
Down in
One
B,
more?
gotcha.
And there's
Impa
the clear.
is through. Impa is cleared, and so has Vembright.
Nice.
Vembright is in second place by just seconds. Impa is through the boss as well. Kusogrand8 is the one person left fighting the boss. That is completely fine. There's still enough time to catch up to the other players. And Kusogrand8, this is their first Kusogrand8. You know, you never expect, or at least I never would expect going into a new tournament to do well. I would expect to come in last, and anything other than last is like a very happy surprise. Otherwise, it's like the expected outcome happened, and I got to play a crappy game that I never would have played otherwise.
Yeah, as a previous contestant, I've taken last before, I've taken first before. I've taken actually every position before, so like I know how it feels to like get a game that you just don't click with, and just like, yeah, makes sense.
You heard it here, everybody. Shambles has taken every position. Well, anyway,
sometimes it's
Cabbage Hat is on whatever this is. Let me just say they're. Okay, I get it. It's supposed to be like, hey, we're going on, you know, a ski lift. But ski lifts lift. Okay, this is not a good ski lift, okay? Not only that, but it went like 20 feet.
And Cabbage Hat is learning the camera is not your friend.
Hey, this is a family-friendly stream, everybody in chat. Get your minds out of the gutter. What are you thinking?
I don't know, Versentia. Maybe it's something that was said that could be taken out of context.
Oh, yeah, maybe. PG-13. PG-13.
PG-13.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, now we do have two players now on the snowboarding section. It's just going to come down to who can get the handle of the snowboarding section first. Cabbage Hat did find a bit of a cheese by strategically falling just not enough to get the instant kill, to find some shortcuts. So it'll be interesting to see if these players will find those shortcuts. That jump that Vembright just had, I think, is the worst jump in the entire section.
I'm just listening. I'm hypnotized by the music here, as well as the really ugly reindeer. Their heads are so big.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting enemy sprites.
I actually like them.
We'll get to World 3, which is more of a desert theme.
The blind jump in order to make it over there? Why, Titus? Why?
That's not a blind jump. You just have to wait for the ski lift to come down.
I didn't see any, like, conveyor belt thingy. I don't know. Well, Vembright and Impa are both snowboarding and having a raucous time. Always fun. You know, this is like Final Fantasy VII. Except maybe even, I don't know, maybe Final Fantasy VII snowboarding was better. I love that, like, technically you can keep going when you fall because there is land underneath, but the game decides you fell for 3 seconds total, you're dead. We're just not letting you go, okay? You're done.
Yeah, and Cabbage Hat managed to find all of the sections where you could fall and just barely land on the land.
Yeah, honestly, this level could be pretty interesting to route as a speed run. A lot about this game could make for an interesting speedrun. I'm not gonna lie. This is an interesting game.
Yeah, there are a lot of ideas that are just cobbled together because I think this was, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I think this game was made on a very short timeline. And so all of this is kind of just like last-minute development to try to possibly make a Game Boy game to be a companion to the other console versions.
Yeah, and I don't know, this might actually be more enjoyable to play than the console versions. Is it better? I don't think it's better.
Okay, I know what's happening with Cabbage Hat.
Do you have to go left?
You have to go left in order to go right.
That's so stupid. Okay, like, I sort of get it because you can see the conveyor belt thingy going up left at this spot, and you haven't used it, but at the same time, because the levels do have some splitting paths between going up left and up right, or no, between going up right and down right, you're already accustomed to thinking, hey, that's probably one of the other routes that I could have come from. And also, once you get up towards the top of this screen, you know, this climb here, the camera stops scrolling up. It makes you think there's no way there is anything else up above. Cabbage Hat is waiting.
Yeah, I think you actually have to move left because there's another tower that you can climb as opposed to waiting for this.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so that tower connects to this tower, but I think the platforms only spawn when you are coming from the right in order to have them come.
Yeah, this is... One, I've seen some developer discourse about, like, the things that they had to do in order to make a game more readable to players. Okay, there's there's a conveyor belt. Good. And one of the things was making pits basically twice as big as they needed to be, because otherwise players would keep trying to make an impossible jump and just not be able to do it. And that's one of the crimes that Titus had right there. They made the pit not quite big enough to dissuade people from trying to make the impossible jump.
All right, so we're on the second boss, and hopefully you can find out the similarities between this boss and the first boss.
Oh, look at him. He's got cute arms and everything. Okay, so we're fighting the Yeti.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is much easier to deal with.
Because you don't have the stupid middle platform that you keep landing on.
Which is why this is the easiest boss in the game.
This is so stupid. Does it also do a ground pound attack?
I don't know because I continuously bounced on it, so I never saw it actually attack.
This is beautiful. I like the music for the boss as well. It almost feels like it's mocking the boss. Like, look at his swagger here. Nah, all we do is we bounce. Yeah, my butt can murder you. Ha!
Oh, and Ben Bright has cleared it.
Very nice,
has
Ben
cleared
Bright.
the snowboarding section.
Well, everybody, Venbright is in a solid second place, with Impa in third, Persaga X in fourth. I really hope Persaga is able to kill the boss before time is out, because, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he has been on this boss. Oh,
no.
This section.
What?
I forgot about the music of the spaceship.
I feel so bad for KO. Like, look at his neck. He has to hunch over so far to fit into this. This is like...
And then has to listen to this, probably the best sound in the game.
Y'all, this is why the music received no credits in the game. This right here. Because we would have looked for somebody to blame, okay? Titus knew what they were doing. Ow!
Luckily, this is a very easy section. There really isn't much in the way of... Like, you might fail at once.
Ow!
But there is that clear.
Okay, well, good. We don't have to deal with that mess again.
Oof.
Somehow it just got worse and worse. It's like the punishment for going slow in that level is that it's just going to hurt your ears, and
Just
that's
drive
it.
you insane. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're on to a desert. Good. Right after snow. To be fair, after mountains, especially mountains that are close to an ocean, usually there is a desert afterwards. Why? Because all of the snow falls on the mountain due to altitude and a lower dew point. And so as soon as it gets lower, the air gets hotter, thus it can contain more water, but it already lost a whole bunch of water, so there's no incentive for rain to fall out of the sky unless there are bizarre weather conditions that cause that to happen. That's why you get deserts after the mountains. So I'd say this checks out.
I really hope Cabbage Hat gets to the third boss, just to see the terrible design of it. So the third boss, you cannot, for at least with me playing it, I think the long play somehow manages to do it, but I couldn't get the frames to infinitely bounce on the guy. So you have to fight him normally, and it's impossible.
Yeah, punch the nerd. Punch.
Oh, and Impa has cleared the snowboarding section.
Very nice. We're seeing very solid progress by Venbright and Impa. Persaga X, I think that most people who played this game would probably have made it to this boss and then be like, I'm done. This is stupid.
Yeah,
I'm never playing this game again.
That was one of my fears with this game, was that all of the players would get stuck on this first boss. The fact that it's only one, I still feel kind of bad, but just like, I'm glad at least 3 people have defeated it, and hopefully a 4th, because if Persagax can do it, I think he can. I believe.
I mean, I think it's doable. I would consider that, like, that would be a personal victory that you don't have to make this personal victory, but if you do, congratulations. You did better than any of us could have asked you to do, and if not, then guess what? You are a normal human being who is completely capable of playing games that are bad, but you are not good at them, which is probably better. Like, nobody should expect to be good at a game that has bad designs and huge flaws, But at the same time, you said that it's very possible that they were on an incredibly tight deadline with this game, They were just trying to get it out in order to be a companion for the other Kao game. And because of that, when you're rushing, you're not going to have the time to test everything properly. You're not going to have the time to get everything right.
Yeah, and I think that's the case with a lot of GBA games, because there are a lot of GBA games.
Yeah. Honestly, GBA tends to be mediocre. And this is kind of aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it made some choices. It didn't make correct choices, but it definitely made choices.
Oh, yeah. But I would prefer this over a boring platformer that has like an hour of tutorials. Oh my gosh. GBA was the era of tutorials. Just slog. You play for a full hour and you're still not through all of the tutorials. You don't need all of that. Throw people into the action like this.
Yeah, any licensed ware that, like, based off of like a television cartoon show is just riddled with those tutorials.
Yeah. And I think that that's the biggest difficulty that comes for the GBA when it comes to giving games for Kusogrand8. A lot of GBA games that would be bad usually are front-loaded with so much boring crap that even an hour into the gameplay, you haven't gotten to anything that could be considered interesting or fun. And, there are the exceptions. This is one of the exceptions here. But, yeah, GBA was very, very loaded with tutorials.
Though I do kind of miss some of those games now, because we don't see them anymore. They all get sent to the phones. Like, we don't see too many of these high-end cash grab games that were movies.
Yeah.
I miss them.
I honestly, I want to work on a platformer that's a lot more standard fare for what you'd have in the 90s and the early 2000s. I've been playing around with some ideas. I've got something that I want to work on. I've worked on platformer physics before. I just need to make at least a few sprites that look semi-decent so that I don't feel like I'm just working on literal garbage. And then I can start putting something together. But there's something to be said about, games that are a lot simpler in ways, but the simplicity in the movement and the action often makes for a fun time,
Oh, Cabbage Hat trying to damage boost their way through this level has to start all the way back from the beginning.
Benbright onto the second boss, which, yeah, this is not going to take very long. Benbright has the strat.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much locked in our positions at this point.
I'd be surprised if we have any movement. It could technically happen, but I don't think so. Cabbage Hat is in the lead, Venbright second, Impa Danila third, Persaga X in fourth. That is our current order. If we have a change, I will be surprised.
Yeah, what I could see happening is maybe Venbright gets stuck on the spaceship stage, and Impa can get through that pretty quickly, because they're almost to the end of the stage, which is the one right before the Yeti boss.
And there we go. Venbright is through, moving on to the next level. Very nice job there. Unfortunately, Impa is dealing with mind games that this game decides to play with you because it doesn't really care for happiness. It cares about punishment. It wants to hurt you.
Yeah. This game tries so hard. And it has a lot of elements, I think, that could be good. And it just fumbles on so many levels. But it's so... But we love that here.
I love this game. I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the favorite platformers that I've seen this season of Kusogrand8 so far. This is really, really fun. Not good, but fun.
Like, look at that rat on Cabbage Hat. Like,
just flailing its tail, and Cabbage Hat's like, come on, let me through. All of the physics just feel so approximate. Why are the, kangaroo mice as big as the kangaroo? I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
But we're hitting the last minute of the match. At this point, we are locked in our positions, as you said, Brasentia. Cabbage Hat taking first, then Bright taking second, Impa taking third, and Persagex, unfortunately, taking fourth. But no shame in taking fourth. It's your first Kusogrand8. The games aren't gonna be easy sometimes.
They're rarely going to be easy, and just, the thing is, if you don't stop trying, you're gonna make me happy. And none of the players stop trying. All of them put in a huge amount of effort to try to make progress through this game. You know, there was varying levels of success here, and that is fine. Oh, I'm just really glad that nobody stopped. Except for us, because that's time! Everybody throw your hands up in the air, shout a little bit, because we are done with this match. Come on, music, you want to play? Okay, I guess we get Daydream and Davy. Yay! Everybody! Was this awesome or was this bummer? I don't know. I think that it was a mix of both. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and welcome Cabbage Hat to come and chat with us. I'd like to talk to a cabbage.
Oh, you're messaging? I was... Okay.
Well, you took too long.
Got it.
You took too long, Trambles.
Well, I was typing it, and then you said you were going to do it, and so I deleted what I typed.
I love it. That's okay. But yeah, it's very clear. Cabbage Hat took first, then Bright second, Impanilla third, and Persaga X fourth. All of them did a great job entertaining us, and honestly, I think that, Cabbage Hat just kind of blew this game away. Persaga X showed what most people are going to experience when playing this game. It's getting to this boss and hating the stupid dinosaur because it just will not die. It is there forever and forever, and it sucks. Yeah. Well, we'll see if anybody decides to join us. How do you feel oh, there's Cabbage Hat. Hello, Cabbage Hat, and congratulations, you took the victory today. That was the response I expected from a cabbage.
Just silence.
Just silence.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think that I was ready to say anything yet. Okay.
No, seriously, great job. How what?
Ow. Whenever he gets hit, I did a lot of jumping over the skulls, and the thing that doesn't look like it should hurt you in the desert level, other than the big bones poking out from the ground that you think would. Ow!
Yeah, there was a lot of ow going on in this game. Not too much of a surprise. I mean, yeah, they say show don't tell, but I'm actually okay with that tell. That's a pretty good one. Oh, so, Cabbage Hat, you made a significant amount of progress. There was one player who managed to get to clear the Yeti and was starting to do the weird flying level with the demon music in it.
Why? Sorry, I said this. I don't know if you also mentioned what I wrote in the chat while it was going. It's called lightning speed. It's slower than walking. What was going on with the spaceship?
I don't know. It's a crappy spaceship.
It's a shmup level without any shooting. It's just a mup.
The shooting is the music that's pulsing your brain as you're playing that level.
The shooting is my attention spans downwards because it's not exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly though, I think I'd play more of this game to see what they throw at me next.
I will let you know. The third boss is the worst boss in the game.
Can I pogo it?
You should.
Possibly can.
All right, I'm willing to test it for science.
It's just a very precise, since there are no platforms in that level.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little painful.
Pits, or you're not able to get up to head height to bounce?
You're not really able up to get to head height to bounce.
That's rude. It's like they knew I'd do it before and then take it away.
I know, right?
I'm not just incompetent, they're evil.
They're just here to crush your hopes and dreams. That's what Titus is all about. But honestly, this is a game that I would be tempted to play. Like, I genuinely think that there are a lot of flaws with this game, don't get me wrong, but it's actually beautiful. There's some level design. The levels are significantly different as you go through it. I think that, they could have done a heck of a lot worse. This might be Titus's best game.
Which is it's a low bar. Let's face it.
It's a very low bar, but like this has ideas, and I love it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it mixed it up. It gave me a snowboard level. Like, why not? It gave me death planes that I managed to find a way around. Like, it's all good.
Well, we were speculating, at least I'm speculating, that, like, it's fall distance, really, that matters when it comes to that. And if you manage to find ways to, like, not keep falling, then you're going to manage to actually survive. But if you do just continuously fall, bam, you're dead after about 3 seconds. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there were points when you were falling and the screen didn't scroll very far. And it's almost like, oh, we planned. We didn't plan for you to go past this part. I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I just know what I feel.
Neither really are the designers at Titus sometimes.
It's true.
They make games. They don't design them.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Surely they just plugged the Dreamcast code for this game into a Game Boy Advance machine,
Oh,
and it converted it
no.
into this, right?
something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
They took a hydraulic press, they turned the 3D into 2D, and then that's how this game came
They
to
made
exist.
the resolution much, much smaller. And this is what it came up. It's all good.
Beautiful. Yeah, so
amazing.
is this something that you think you might... You said you might return to this, right?
Yeah. I mean, I went through a binge of playing Game Boy Advance games anyway, which probably helped me. That probably helped me over the last few years. But yeah, no, I think I'd go back. Once you got past that initial figure out what the game wants from you, you can move. So it'll probably won't take me that long.
Oh, yeah.
I'll check back in. I'll let you know.
Good. Yeah, let us know how it goes. With that said, are you streaming anything these days that people should be aware about? Do you have any...
I don't think it's that far, but yeah, I mean, I try to stream once or twice a week just for myself. I've only got a few followers. I'm not expecting... I don't expect people to watch. It's just an excuse for me to play old games. I'm playing through the entire Klonoa series. There's 7 of them. Did you know there's 7 of them? One's an action RPG. Like,
What?
No one knows that. It was a Japan-only action RPG.
I've actually played it. It's really interesting.
Fantastic! I can't wait. I'm currently playing Klonoa Beach Volleyball, which is fine. It's fine. It's got character. It's got endings for each character. They're fun.
Klonoa deserves to have more recognition than
Yes,
Klonoa
exactly.
has.
And if you want to find out why, come to my stream every Sunday. It's
No, plug it.
Yeah.
Well, when do you stream usually?
It's that, and I've started playing through the Quintet Heaven and Earth trilogy, the Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia. I started Illusion of Gaia this week. It's weird and good, and I like it. So if you want to know more about that, please come and watch, come and chat.
I love it.
I'm
Yeah,
friendly. I'm nice.
you're a cabbage.
I'm a cabbage. I don't bite.
Yeah,
Don't bite
cabbages
me.
don't have teeth, and the ones that do, those aren't cabbages, okay?
Look, here we go. You probably can't see what's on my screen anyway. There we go. I'm a happy cabbage. Be friends with me.
Well, thank you so much, Cabbage Hat. And Shrambles, thank you for giving this game. This was a heck of a lot of fun. We've got 2 more matches, so we're going to have to run over and get those rolling. Thank you, too, and take care.
Thank you. Thank you to Titus as well.
Yeah, big shout outs to Titus.
Purveyor of fine video games.
Thank you, Titus. See ya.
Yeah.